When we're talking about impulse control, what we're basically asking for is our dogs to learn how to say please for the things that we want. Impulse control is all about our dog saying, I really, really, really want that thing, but I'm going to ask for permission to have it. Hi, I'm Jamie Popper. Welcome to Kong Classroom. So there's a ton of different problem behaviors that we may have with our dogs if they lack impulse control. Things like running and jumping over on guests, or stealing food off of the countertops, or if you're sitting down and having a nice cup of coffee at the coffee table, maybe they're jumping on the coffee table or spilling your coffee. We want our dogs to learn how to slow down even in those exciting moments and kind of think through what we want them to do in those situations. When our dogs are going through their adolescent age period, which is usually sometime between 9 months of age to 18 months of age, this is the time period that we see a lot of dogs have a lack of impulse control. Now, this is also the time period where a lot of dogs are returned to shelters or given up for adoption because maybe they just don't mesh. So if we can work on teaching our dogs impulse control, we can help eliminate some of those frustrations and build a better relationship with our dogs. So there are 2 games that I like to teach my dogs in order to help with working on impulse control. One of my favorite games to teach my dogs is the elevator game. Basically, we're putting our dogs in a situation where they're saying, I really, really, really want that thing that you have, but I'm going to learn how to wait for it until you've given me permission to have it. So with the elevator game, what we start off with is a bowl of our dog's food. And we're just going to stand there and wait for our dog to relax or stand still. It'd be really nice if they offered a sitting position, but as long as they're not spinning around in circles, barking, or jumping up on you, they're standing still, you're ready to start the game. As you start this game, what you're going to do is slowly lower the bowl of food down to the ground. You eventually want to get to the point where you can set the food on the ground and then give your dog permission to go ahead and eat the food. If your dog starts moving at any point, if they stand up or if they shuffle their feet, you're going to stand straight back up while holding onto your bowl of food and start the game over again. So in the sense of the elevator, it's going down if they are behaving and standing still and being polite. And if they make a mistake, you just stand back up and start from the beginning. Now, one of the other exercises that we can do with our dogs in order to teach them impulse control is asking them to do something like a sit-stay up on a platform while we introduce a wide variety of different distractions that our dog might want to interact with. So I could ask my dog to do a sit-stay up on the platform, and then I toss cookies on the ground. If he shows impulse control, stays where he's supposed to, then I will let him know, yeah, sure, you're allowed to have that. And I'll tell him with specific words that he's allowed to have it. If it's food on the floor, I'll tell him to find it. Or if I decide to use a toy or something like that, then I can tell him to get it or fetch. And then if it's a person, perhaps, then I can give him a cue to go say hi, and he'll run over and say hi to that person. You'll want to start off with something that is not super distracting. So maybe I will set a treat down on the ground and see if my dog is able to tolerate that distraction. I'll let him know that he can have that treat. And then we'll build up to things that are a little bit more distracting, like dropping a handful of treats on the ground, or eventually throwing treats past him. What we're looking for in this impulse control game is that our dog is saying, I see that thing that I want with their body language, but I'm going to sit here and be patient until I'm told that I'm allowed to go and either greet the person or eat the treats that have been dropped on the ground. By teaching our dogs impulse control, it can help eliminate some of those frustrating behaviors that we don't like to see in our dogs. I'm Jamie Popper. Thanks for joining us in Kong Classroom.